Password sharing has been happening almost since the day Netflix launched. You can do some of that, but the streaming service's recent crackdown on its subscribers sharing access with non-subscribers and non-family members, non-household members, is posing an important question about the practice. Is it legal? Well, here's what some folks out there on the street had to tell us.
Do you share your passwords with somebody else?
Yes.
Do you think that it's illegal to do that?
Probably.
Probably in the law, yeah, it's definitely legal. Illegal.
I feel like everybody should have an option to share their account. You don't think so? That's not fair. Don't do us like that.
Well, let's debate it with tonight's Legal Eagles, civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi. We will not ask our guests whether they engage in this kind of behavior. Welcome, gentlemen.
How you doing, Shannon?
Okay, so the Netflix terms of use includes this. It says the Netflix service and any content accessed through our service are for your personal and non-commercial use only and may not be shared with individuals beyond your household. During your Netflix membership, we grant you a limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable right to access the Netflix service and Netflix content through the service. Robert, what does that say to you about the legality of it?
What it says is you may not be breaking any state laws, but you will be breaking those terms of services if you are indeed using your password for non-commercial uses, spreading it outside of your household. Let's say, man, you just decide to put your Netflix password on Reddit, and the thousands of people are able to log in and use the service. That's clearly not what was intended. So you may open yourself up to civil liability, the revocation of your account, the inability to use the service going forward for violating those terms. So no, you probably will not go to jail, but you might end up being banned from Netflix, or you could end up being facing civil penalties.
Yeah, maybe Netflix jail. I don't know. But hey, if they have stuff for you to watch and you can hang out and chill, might not be a bad place. Okay, Make Use Of is a website out there reporting on some of these cases. It says it's unlikely that Netflix will bother suing you for breaching the terms of use. Instead, what it can do if it catches you sharing your password is terminate your account. At the very least, Netflix can place your account on hold and you won't have access to it for some time. And Bob, for some people, that would be rather unpleasant.
Could be worse than prison, Shannon. But let's be honest here too. Look, it's clear on its face that if the terms of service are violated here, there's actually a case, US v. Nosol, that came out of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals that basically said password sharing is in fact a violation of the Computer Fraud Abuse Act of 1986. And that caused a lot of people to get very nervous, because when that case came down, and there was actually another case involving a guy, Aaron Schwartz from MIT, who had the authority to be in an account. He had passwords and he had access, but he violated the terms of service. Now, that case didn't get handled because he ultimately committed suicide, but he was charged, I believe. The fact of the matter is we're on a tenuous thing here. Now, the likelihood prosecutors are going to prosecute people because they're violating the terms of service for Netflix is probably 0 to none. But nevertheless, it is something that you should be concerned about if they decide to get hard on this, because we're being told that Netflix is in a position right now where they want to start enforcing these terms of service.
Yeah, and CNBC reporting on that back in April 23rd starts out with a quote. It says, if you've got a sister, let's say, that's living in a different city, you want to share Netflix with her, that's great, said Chief Operating Officer Greg Peters during the company's earnings conference call. Quote, we're not trying to shut down that sharing, but we're going to ask you to pay a bit more to be able to share with her, and so that she gets the benefit and the value of the service, but we also get the revenue associated with that viewing. Robert, how do you think they may go about trying to enforce that?
Well, there's ways you can limit the number of accounts that can be on the system. I know there's certain other streaming apps. So let's say you can only have 3 people logged in at any given time to the app. They may create a fee or an advertising-based model. So if you, so because of the revenue they're losing because of the sharing of passwords, well, now you'll just have to watch a couple commercials in the middle of Stranger Things in order to make up for those. Trust me, technology companies stay rich by making sure they stay ahead of the curve, and they will have processes in place to make sure they are continuing to stay profitable.
All right, very quick final word, Bob.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't sweat it, but I can, as a lawyer, tell you to use somebody else's password, because I believe that if anybody wanted to pursue it, it would be a violation of that case, US v. Nosol out of the Ninth Circuit.
We would never give people that kind of advice. We're not lawbreakers around here. We are officers of the court, gentlemen. Robert and Bob, thank you both very much.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, and the one and only